All right. I am so excited to be here with you today. Our apologies for the time change. I really hurt my foot. I need to go get it taken care of. So we had to change some things. By the way, yesterday, so powerful. I want to thank all of you who were there and attended, the messages that I've received, the DMs, emails, just especially after the worksheets. So if you are just joining today, this is Born for This, Become the Woman That You're Meant to Be. It's a 2-day event that we've been doing live. It was 2 hours yesterday and 2 hours today. We're just getting started today. If you wanted to get the worksheets and the replay, I'm going to put the link here, or I'll see if my team can. And when you do that, the worksheets are incredible. Like I said, I woke up to so many messages just saying how powerful things that they realized, breakthroughs, that they hadn't really seen and understood that they were living into old identities. So in this event, what we've really been doing is going through an actual process. Yesterday, we talked about shifting your identity. We really looked at the way in which you see yourself, and the roles and limitations and identities that have been creating either for you or against you. We talked a lot about energy, and we also talked about how to reprogram the mind so that you can start thinking differently. So before we get into today, for anybody that is new to me, I know we're streaming on multiple platforms. I'm Melissa Kathryn. I specialize in supporting women to break free from limiting beliefs to become the woman that they always knew they were meant to be. Everything that I do starts with the body. I have a background as a holistic nutritionist, psychology of food, women, their emotions, and self-sabotaging behaviors. I'm also a master hypnotherapist and master life coach, and everything that I do is fully holistic. So for me and everything that I teach is, I believe you give me a woman that feels good in her body and that she is unstoppable and will fully go for her dreams. And I have seen, not only in my own life, but in working, I've been doing this now for 18 years, supporting thousands of women going through our programs, that the biggest thing is not only it's truly believing in themselves, but it's actually that they have continued to live into an identity that's recreated many years and months and decades of struggle. And it's actually what I've seen that's so powerful is shifting your identity. And I shared yesterday how I first came onto that and really saw that in all the transformative work that I've done and all the healing and alternative and everything, every and anything that you can do. Like I said, I've been in this world for a long time. The most powerful thing that I've seen that you could do to truly transform your life almost instantly is changing your identity, understanding that you can reinvent yourself at any time, that you don't need somebody to give you permission, that you don't need to continue to live in a way that isn't serving you. And that the most powerful thing, and yesterday we went through 3 primary things that we were really talking about. And in the beginning, I said, right now, more than anything, if you did one thing from this event that would change everything for you, is challenge every belief that you have and really ask yourself, why do I believe this to be true? And is this serving me, right? Is this actually serving me? So in my life, I really get called the reinvention queen. It's always like, you're the queen of reinventing yourself. And it really started, and just to give you a bit of my backstory for those of you that don't know. So I had lived in New York City. I was in fashion design, marketing, and I was self-taught with all of that. And we did private label for handbags and accessories. That was something that I always wanted to do. I made my prom dress. I used to make clothes like upstairs in my room. I'm like cutting things, turning like, dresses into shirts and skirts into pants and all the things. And I would just sit and kind of construct. I had no idea what I was really doing, right? We didn't have, I'm going to date myself completely. I'm 46, but there was no Google. There was no I didn't even know it was truly available. I grew up in a small town. So I say this because I went to New York and I always had struggled with my weight. For me, I was very insecure in my body. I was not confident. I remember thing called thunder thighs, bubble butt. I was always, 10, 15 pounds overweight. I'm 5'4". You put that on a small frame. I just felt I was very insecure. That's like, I'm just going to say, and I had body issues, and I went into decades of chronic dieting, disordered eating, all the things, emotional eating. We can put the identities around it. But what I really saw was when I got to New York was I remember I just sat there and I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm done. And I said, I'm going to get healthy, and I no longer want my weight. If I'm in control of this, I don't want my weight to be something that stops me from being my best self. And I hate that I'm always having to alter clothes. And, I was talking yesterday about like the gap in my jeans, I had a smaller waist and, and then I'd have to hem everything. And I was just like, I'm so sick of this. So I decided. And in that moment of that energetic decision, when we really look at reinventing and creating a new identity and something that I love doing and doing with my clients and seeing the power of the mind and manifestation and all of this, it's really understanding that you get to define and decide who you want to be because you are in control of all of it. No one is in control of you. So it's really about giving you your power back. And what I love more than anything is I have our high-end, mastermind mentorship, and we have our Limitless Academy. It was just our online membership program that really supports women in becoming the best version of themselves and constantly going higher and evolving. I always say you're either, it's either a revolving door or you're evolving, right? But if we have things in our life that keep revolving, then you actually haven't changed your consciousness. You haven't changed your identity. And this is what I would see over and over again with women that would come into our community. And I even saw it with myself where, you would change things and let's just use weight for an example. You would lose weight for 3 months, 6 months, whatever, even a year, a few years, but you would end up rubber banding back. And I always saw it's because they actually hadn't changed their identity. They hadn't changed their relationship. They were still living into the identity. So yesterday we really talked about how our identities will create for or against us. And you have a lot of identities that serve you. Being a kind person, being a happy person, being positive, being fit, being this and that. And there are a lot of identities that we have on repeat. And I was talking yesterday about the danger in this when we have this in particular when it comes to our weight, when it comes to our health, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to anything in your life where you keep going, oh, I've struggled with that my whole life, or, oh, I have ADD, or, oh, I'm horrible with money, or this. All of those, that's a direct program to your mind that will have you continue to recreate that over and over again. I don't care if you say you're not giving it much credence or it's not a big thing. It is creating for you or against you at all times. So you are the creator of your life. You are the master of it. When we sit there and we go, well, the universe, I'm waiting for a sign. It's like, no, you are actually programming and telling the universe what you want the sign to be. So yes, you can look for reinforcements that you're on the right path, but in essence, you are creating your reality. So as a 46-year-old woman, what I see and who I'm speaking to, and with this event in particular, was really calling for those women that are in transition, those women that are ready for the next chapter, the women that are going, I know that I'm meant for more than this, the women that are going, and I hear this all the time too, I feel so bad that I have the most incredible partner, I have beautiful children, I have this career, but I'm not happy. And they end up acting out and overeating or overindulging over here, overspending, or just putting everybody else ahead of themselves because they're afraid that what they'll find is going to have them alienate or lose or have to change too much of what's going on around them. And what I actually want to say is that in your awakening of yourself and your allowance of yourself to be the boldest, most beautiful, badass version of you, where you allow yourself to be vulnerable and authentic and show up so powerfully as yourself, highlighting all of your gifts, then those who love you the most will mirror you and rise to meet you. And that's the beauty of this. And that's what I'm so committed to. And that's what I've seen time and time again. So going back to a bit about this event, Born for This, Become the Woman That You're Meant to Be, is for the woman who is ready to really be seen, to show up powerfully, to get unstuck, to sit there and go, I know that I'm meant, I have a purpose, and really to take themselves to that next level, even if they're already showing up in a big way and they're just going, I know that there's more inside of me. And I want to discover what that is. And I want to show up. And so this event is designed to take you through that transformation. Yesterday, we looked at what are the limiting beliefs that are standing in the way? What are those 3 beliefs that you have that you know are hindering you from you becoming the best version of you? And that was last night's homework. Those were the worksheets that we went through. And we looked at what were those identities, what are the new beliefs that we want to create, and how to actually reprogram the mind to become that. That was one of the most beautiful questions that we got yesterday, was how do I actually reprogram my mind to start really, really showing up differently and thinking differently and seeing differently? And I was explaining that it's not only through the repetition and it's much like creating a healthy habit. When we want to create a healthy habit, and I'm working with clients and getting out of having so much sugar and junk food, it's about crowding out, right? We're not just taking it away. We're not removing it all. Where we restrict will rebel. We're crowding it out. So we want to do the same thing when we want to reprogram the mind. We're crowding out the negative thoughts with positive ones. We're crowding out the old stories and saturating the mind with new stories. We do a lot of storytelling. We tell ourselves the things that we want to be true for us, and we saturate our mind with visions, and then we bring it to life with our emotions. And the more that you bring it to life with the emotion in the body, the more the body believes it to be true. And when the body believes something to be true and the mind sees it and knows it, by law, it must come to you. And that is what happens in manifestation. So what we are doing on day 2 here is I want to go into the energetics of understanding food and how to connect more to your intuition and understanding the energetics behind that, because the body, the way you treat yourself, your relationship to yourself is, I believe, the portal to propelling you to your dreams. When you feel good in your body and when you are treating your body, cherishing it and treating it like a vessel and relating to yourself with unconditional love, then your belief in yourself and your dreams and your connection to source and divine energy is being in the awareness that you are fully limitless. And when you learn that you can eat in a way that connects you to your intuition, that has you think more positively and will have you show up more powerfully, that is a game changer. So we're going to start off today doing that. And then we're going to move into tying back in what we talked about yesterday, which was balancing the feminine and masculine energies and understanding the power of being in the feminine to actually connect to your intuition. And this is really powerful when it comes to that of manifestation and really understanding how we can transform who we've been into who we want to be. See, there's a lot that happens in the world of self-development and self-growth where there's belief systems around resistance and blocks and processes and how long transformation needs to happen and what happens when things get hard. And what I'd really love to do today is bring you into the simplification. Like I said, I've been doing this work for 18 years. I've gone the long way around. I've had several challenges and big things, and I've had incredible manifestations and beautiful experiences. I have done so much in my lifetime, from, like I said, having over a decade career in New York City, being sent around the world to trend shop, right? It was just incredible, to then transitioning to start my own business as an entrepreneur, to speaking on stages, to doing a TED Talk, to writing books, to having my podcast, to traveling the world, to living all over the world, right? And really creating a life of my dreams, that my life experiences and the things that I've had and the people that are in my life and the love that I have in my life and the gifts that come to me and the effortless way and how easy it gets to be and how excited at 46, I feel like I'm just getting started on the best years of my life, right? And I have endless energy and optimal health and eradicating cancer from my body in only 8 weeks. These are the things that have happened to me and they've happened for me. And as a result of them happening for me, I am able to support my clients, women in our community, anybody that comes across me right here, right now, to know that that too is possible for you. And the things that I've learned have helped me to not only my spiritual awakening, my dark nights of the soul, coming on the other side of all of that. I know what that is. The spiritual awakening process, I understand it. Being intuitive, I get it. And what I want to tell you is there's always an easier path. There's always an easier way. And for those of you, I'm going to use the words spiritual, but I can tell you this, when it comes to transformation, when it comes to changing your life, when it comes to having optimal health, optimal wealth, and being the version of you that's constantly thriving and in a happy, positive state, knowing that you are attracting to you at all times, that which you desire, and that it gets to be easy and it gets to be fun and you don't need to struggle, and that the struggles actually aren't real. They are just dips. It is the law of rhythm, right? It is where there's a high, there's going to be a low, but it's that we don't want to give it meaning, right? The damage gets done in the meaning that we give to things. The damage gets done in tying ourselves to identities that don't serve us. The damage gets done in making our emotions have meanings that don't serve us. It is okay if you're crying. Tears are meant, they are just an energy release, and they are beautiful. And that's just a transmutation of energy and a release. We don't want to give it meaning. When we wake up each day and we wake up and we judge the way that we feel, and then we go, oh, I'm depressed. Oh my God, I'm depressed. I must be sad. Oh my God, it's still here. You are bringing yesterday's consciousness into today, and that is creating your tomorrow. Yesterday, I had everybody do an exercise where we dropped into our present state. And I said, right now, close your eyes, drop in with me. And by the way, I just want to say this, for those of you that missed yesterday, on any of my social platforms, you will see it. But if you want to get the replay that you can then have and go through, we did an awesome visualization at the end that is available to you. And like I said, if you want the worksheets, I'll put the link here. So if you put your email in, you'll get the worksheets and you'll be able to do them. They are super transformative. I love them. And if not, that is totally okay too. Just wanted to let you know, because I will be referencing them later on in today's video. What I want you to understand now, yesterday we went through and I said, guys, really understand you are not your thoughts. You are just a thinker of your thoughts. Your thoughts do not define you, and they are not you. They are simply just experiences and ideas, projections from other people, society, family dynamics, and yourself that you created about who you get to be. But when we sit here, and I had this, and it was amazing. I had with a client yesterday, and we were talking about worthiness. And we looked, and I said, okay, so let's talk about your worth. And I said, tell me your identity. What are things that come easy to you? Let's look at your life. Like, what area is that? And she's like, career. And I was like, great. Who do you believe yourself to be? Describe you to me. Tell me who you are as a career. I want to hear you and your identity in work. And it was like, oh, I think anybody would be lucky to have me on their team. I'm efficient. I'm a go-getter. I'm team-oriented. I love leading. I'm a good listener. She went on and on and on. And I said, okay, so let's look at that. I go, now tell me about an area that's been challenging for you in your life, right? You're 50 now. In your life, what's going on? And she's like, okay, well, for her, that is love and relationships. And I said, describe you to me. And we're on a dating site. Like, tell me about you. Or like, I'm a matchmaker. Like, I tell me who you are. I was like, come on, Brittany. I was like, tell me who you are, girl. And she's like, and she got really quiet. And she's like, I don't know. This is really uncomfortable. I mean, I don't really. And I said, well, what's coming to mind for you? And she goes, that I'm not lucky in love, that like, it's just not my thing, that I'm like, my biggest fear is that I'm going to end up alone. Right. That's her dominant. That's what's going on in the background. Right now, when I had asked her, I meant to say this, when I had asked her earlier in the beginning of our call, I said, how are things going? Like, love, relationship. She's like, good, good. So what can happen is we can bypass consciously based off of what we think other people want to hear. But when we really drop in and we go into, what do you really believe? Talk to me, tell me, describe you to me in that area, everything came up. So why do we think it's hard for her with love? It's not because anything's wrong with her. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. It's beautiful inside and out, heart of gold. Funny, smart, does well, like she's got it all going on. But what's her identity? She is feeding into a story and probably tells herself often that she's going to end up alone, right? That she's not, that this isn't her area. So what does that do if that's constantly your identity? I want you to think, as I'm telling you this, I want you to think, put yourself in that scenario. And I'd love for you to put in the chat for me, what's an area where you're like, I could tell you I'm epic. Like I've got no doubts. I'm fully confident in how I show up in this world. What is that for you? And then I want you to think about something that you're wanting or an area in your life. Maybe it's money, maybe it's love, maybe it's your body. What's going on there? How would you describe you? Why this is going to be really powerful for you is because what you'll see is that you have one of them, you have a positive identity. So on repeat, you have stories that support the positive identity. So you continue to experience positive things. Why do you think lucky girl syndrome was such a big phenomenon on social media? Because it's speaking into, I'm the luckiest girl in the world. That person continues to experience luck. What we affirm and the stories and the words that we speak will constantly create for us or against us and will affirm an identity. So when we do the same thing, but in the area that we want the most, you will find that you will have stories and an identity that's actually working against you. So when we know, yesterday I talked about the mind is nothing more than an artifact of past consciousness. It only operates in the past or in the future. It will compare, describe, and measure against. It will put you in a lot of FOMO. Well, you should have gone here. You what if? No matter what decision you make. But what if you did that? Well, it could have been that, right? So yesterday I started off by saying, coming back to it, everybody closed their eyes. And I said, okay, you are only thinking about this present moment. Only this present moment. You are only thinking about this present moment, present moment. What's there? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? And everyone said nothing. I said, exactly. Because the mind actually does not know present consciousness. It only will go to the past or future trip you. So the mind will either put you in states of overwhelm or anxiety or doubt or fear, right? Or it's going to compare and it's going to have you on social media going, what about that person? And I should have had those numbers. And why didn't I do that? And yesterday I made this much money and today I'm not. And this person didn't look at me that way and they should have blah, blah. And my number on the scale. And so I want you to understand, you are not your mind. You can program your mind. Your mind is a computer. When you give it a command, it responds 1000% exactly to you. So notice the commands that you put in. The mind will find evidence for whatever you tell it. If you want to tell it a good story, it will look for evidence to back that up. The world operates off energy and vibration and frequency. The universe is responding to your vibration, not what you really want. So if your dominant feeling is fear, if your dominant feeling is lack, if you go and buy something or you buy something and you're going, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. It's going to work against you. Now, if you buy something in full faith, the money's coming back to you, the money will. If you eat something and tell yourself you're going to have to work out like crazy tomorrow and it's going to put on all this weight and blah, 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 and you should have done that. It's going to cause stomach problem. It will. You're giving a direct command. What you directly command the mind, the body will follow. How did I heal myself of cancer? I told myself that I was whole and healed. I didn't identify with the diagnosis. I didn't even look again at anything that was said to me. I just said, I am only entertaining thoughts of being happy and healthy. I feel good. I'm good. It's just not going to be my truth. Nope. Mm-mm. And did it mean that I was like some crazy person and like I heard it? I was like, not my truth. No, I completely cried. I like dropped to my knees. It was one of those moments where I said, I literally threw my hands up to God and I said, like, I don't know why this is happening. Like, we already did this dance and no, thank you. no, thank you. And I was distraught, but I allowed the breakdown. I didn't make myself wrong for it. I didn't sit in it. I saw it. And in that moment, God said, you're healed. You're healthy. And I said, I am. Why? Why am I listening to what this doctor? I don't care. I don't care what it said. I don't care what the results were. I don't care about the CAT scan, like the CT scan and all. I'm like, I feel good. I'm good. No. And I went in, and yes, did I do self-hypnosis each day? I did. But I also told myself, I'm not talking about this. I'm not ruminating on this. I'm not obsessing. I'm going to confide in, I picked like 2 people that would have my back in my choosing to believe what I wanted to believe, that would be aligned with it. And I said, I'm not giving this any more energy. And in 8 weeks, whatever they find, they'll find when I go back. But nope, I'm going to go live my best life. And I'm going to do everything to saturate myself and my mind and command my body that it is completely healed. And I did that every day for 8 weeks. And it came back and there was nothing. I'm not the only story of this. And it's truth, right? And so I say this because it's not like I'm some special, I mean, I believe I'm special, but anybody can do that. We have that ability to override and to heal our bodies. And so if we can do that, and we have divine consciousness, and we are connected to the source of all things, then I love to teach and support women and anybody in understanding that you can go even deeper with that connection, and through the way in which you talk to yourself, the stories that you tell, the allowance of self, and the way in which you treat yourself. And when I talk about treating yourself and nourishing yourself, right, I get called the spiritual nutritionist because I truly believe and teach that food is spiritual. It is a spiritual experience. And when you understand that there are energetic laws around food, and that everything that you're ingesting is working for or against you to create your tomorrow and your future, then we start to really look at what we're taking in and have a deeper relationship to it from a space of, I am drinking this water knowing that it is fully hydrating my body, and that my body is comprised 73% of water. So I know that it is connecting me even deeper to my intuitive body. That's going to help me to see more clearly. I know that every time that I eat food that is whole and from its natural state, I don't subscribe to diets, I eat clean. What is clean eating? It's eating foods closest to their natural state that aren't bombarded with chemicals and products and other things. And what that means for me is my body knows what to do with it. It knows how to digest it. It knows how to process it, and it knows how to detoxify it. My body does not know what all these foreign chemicals and scientific terms, and, when tomatoes are like this big, when they're meant to be this big. So this is really understanding the energetics. Now, what do we want to do though, when we want to understand energetics and understand how to align intuitively to support us in becoming the version of ourselves? If you've ever struggled with your weight, I want to say a few things, and we're going to go pointedly into this. And I'm going to stay on point today. So for the next about 15 minutes, I'm going to go through this, and then we're going to go into the next. So I have to sit on my other foot. Oh my God, guys, I've really hurt my foot. Okay. So what I want to tell you, that's so beautiful. And I've learned this, and it was so amazing. So first off, when you're about to eat something, I want you to pay attention to the thoughts that you think around it. Everything is about intentional living, which is one of the pillars that I teach in our programs. Intentional living means that I am going to be intentional in everything that I say, think, speak, and feel. That I'm actually going to write an intention in the morning, knowing that what I write will come to fruition based off of me putting a pen to paper. This is scientifically proven. One of my favorite things in Limitless Academy is when all of the women, without fail, will tell me that when they write something down, it happens verbatim throughout the day. So this is such a cool concept to apply as well as you're creating your identity, but we're not going to do that yet. Stay with me here. We're going to stick with food in the body. So for anybody that's wanting to get more fit, enhance their energy, get healthier, age backwards, feel better, you're going to want to hear what I have to say. So first and foremost, everything is about intentional living, meaning that I want you to walk into your home and I want you to look around when you do today through the eyes of, I am now the version of me that I desire to be. Does everything in my home still align with me? I am now the version of me that I desire to be. Does everything in my home still align with me? If you are looking around at what's so beautiful when you do this, it's like the coolest thing. It's almost like things get highlighted. Like all of a sudden it will be like, that painting needs to go. I need to update those throw pillows. Oh, that's so interesting. Or wow, this house needs to be cleaned. And you want to do this in spaces and especially in your closet. This is so interesting to do because you're going to see that as you shift your identity and as you get more connected to you, you're going to see that things are no longer going to be energetically aligned. And this is like an example of this when you walk in your closet and you're like, I'm putting on 100 things and like none of it feels like me. And you're like, what's going on? It's because you've actually shifted timelines. You've shifted your consciousness, who you identify as. These things are no longer working. And when I work with my clients in the process of reinvention, one of the things I will tell you is usually with clothes, I say, just give it about 30 days because at first you're going to notice this stuff doesn't feel like me. And I go, and so we don't need to like throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't need to go buy a whole new wardrobe. But at the end, especially my reinvention program is like 6 months long. But like at the end, it's fascinating that it's almost like the entire way of being and dressing changes. So I just say, just start putting the clothes in your closet that you're unsure about in one rack and really trying them on and seeing and giving yourself that time. Now, let's get back to this. So you're going to walk in your home. You're going to see what's kind of out of place. You might also see that you love everything, but intentional living is about you being very intentional about what you have in your home, how you connect in your home, how you feel. Does it light you up in there? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel like, oh my God, everything's unorganized and it's too dark in here and I need to pay attention to those things because your environment creates. Okay, 1. Everything is energy. 2, understanding that everything is energy, then you understand that everything in your space, again, is creating for you or against you. So when we're in intentional living, we also want to look at everything that we're ingesting, how we're nourishing ourselves. What are the products that we're using? What are the foods that we're eating? What are we ingesting? Meaning, what are we watching on television? Everything that you watch and ingest on social media, on television, everything you're reading is creating in the mind. How do we know this? Well, when you're watching something or reading something, just think about when you're reading something. You have thoughts going on at all times. I love when people tell me they're not visual or creative. I'm like, yeah, but I say, Apple, you have a vision right now. You can visualize. When you're reading a story or an article, there is a story happening in your mind. So when we're looking at what we're ingesting, and when I'm working with clients on reprogramming their mind, I always say, what are you watching before you go to bed? What are you telling yourself? When you go to sleep at night, that is the beginning of your next day. That is actually that is your morning routine. I was saying that yesterday. I always get asked, like, do you do a morning routine, evening routine? I'm like, I do both, but like the evening routine is the most powerful because that's actually the beginning. That is your morning routine. That's what's going to start you off. So you want to go to bed, programming the mind with that which you desire. You want to saturate the mind as much as possible. So when we're looking at intentional living and when we're looking at our body and we're going, I want to age backwards, I want to ask you, what is your identity with aging? What is your identity with menopause? What is your identity with perimenopause? What is your identity with your weight? What is your identity after having a baby? What is your identity with your body? And that's going to tell you everything about what you're experiencing. Neville Goddard, one of my favorite thought leaders of all time in self-development, self-growth, in the new age era, in his book, The Power of Awareness, he says, I'm going to butcher it a bit, but in essence, it's your assumptions tell you everything about what you believe to be true about you and in life. Your assumptions will tell you everything about what you believe, what you assume. Just notice when you go and have dinner with a family member, you're going to, Thanksgiving, right? It's coming up. It's like, what are you already assuming is going to happen? That's telling you what you believe about family, about how chaotic it might be, or maybe that it's going to be the best day of your life. Everything that your assumptions whether you assume success, whether you assume that all the money would come, whether you assume that that person would say these beautiful things to you, or whether you assumed that you would get on the scale and release the weight, whatever it is, what you assume to be true is telling you everything about what you actually believe. And so when we're looking at what we are doing with our bodies, I really want to ask you, when you're looking at optimal health, what do you assume to be true? Do you go to the doctor in fear of what they're going to tell you? Because that's already telling you what you think about what your assumptions are. That's already telling you how you feel about the way that you have operated with your body. Right? We only fear the doctor, the dentist, when we're like, I haven't brushed my teeth, or like, I haven't actually been taking my medication, or I'm still this, or I'm not that. Pay attention, right? So why do I do clean eating? Why do I promote clean eating? One, because I don't believe in dieting. I believe in helping people to know that they're going to be healthy for life and to adopt the identity of I am healthy for life. Therefore, what happens with an identity when you just know that you are health? You can miss a week of workouts. You could get injured. You could gain weight, lose weight. It doesn't matter, because you know that your health, you are healthy for life. This isn't for a 30-day thing. This isn't to get ready for this. This isn't a 6-month, oh my God. This isn't I'm on this new drug to all lose weight and then I have to be off it. This is me for life. So it's okay. I'm learning. I'm on a journey. I'm getting better. I'm always fine tuning. I look at where I started with my health, and no, I would never just go all the way to clean eating. First, I had to shift, and I had to get out of emotional eating. And then I had to learn, and then I had fun learning what foods does my body like? What foods don't I like? I healed myself of asthma by taking dairy out. I was like, wow, this is fascinating. Food is medicine or poison. Then I went into understanding that, then I got into adaptogens and like superfoods. And then I learned about that. And then I was like, I mean, there's everything. You go through the journey. It's a journey, just like fitness is a journey. You know, like I go in waves. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm all about spinning. Other times I'm like into heavy weightlifting all the time. You know, I did fitness competition. It's like, then I'm into swimming. Then I'm into dance. I'm hiking. I'm rock climbing. I'm surfing, right? Like you go because it's for life. So you follow the waves and you don't put it in a box, but you also know that it's just you. So you don't have to worry about it not working. You don't stress. You're not like, oh, I have to eat keto for this long. First off, none of those are meant to be for life. Keto is not meant to be for life diet. Paleo, intermittent fast, like it's, I mean, yes, I understand people can. I'm not here to, but I am going to tell you, I don't believe in diets. What I do believe in is clean eating. It makes sense to me. It goes, everything that I teach makes sense. Breath is free. It's always going to calm your nervous system, right? Meditation is going to help clear your mind and bring a sense of calm and peace. Again, it's free. Water will always cleanse the body and help to detoxify and energize, right? It's going to help you with all things: lymphatic drainage, your glowing skin, clear mind and body, helping with weight loss, weight maintenance, giving you energy, right? Like it's like the body's comprised of it. It makes sense. Clean eating makes sense to me. It is whole foods closest to their natural state. You naturally are eating nutrient dense, calorie deficient food that's going to support you, your mood, and healing your body naturally. Your body is incredible and it's meant for incredible things. What is the other thing with clean eating that I love? As an intuitive, what I found is there are specific foods and ways that we can program our bodies to heal itself by pairing specific words and phrases with foods that we eat and actually seeing them nourishing the body, seeing them connect us to higher consciousness. So I know that alcohol is a toxin that's going to cloud my mind and disconnect me from my intuitive gifts, right? I'm not saying not to drink, guys. Although there are incredible health benefits, and I can say it's pretty amazing when you don't. But what I can say is you start to notice, how do I feel on too much coffee? How do I feel when I'm having soda? How do I feel? You'll notice that once you start cleaning up your body and are so connected and start to hear intuitive guidance come through for you more loudly, more clearly, then you want to keep feeling that way. And when you know that you are the source of the amount of energy that you have, that the way that you eat is supporting you in deep sleep or not, you start to go, oh, wow, everything that I'm putting in is supporting me in that way. And that is huge. So when you are about to eat something that you know you're going, pay attention. Do you have belief systems around pizza, around brownies, around eating ice cream, around things like that? Change it and understand that there are no good foods or bad foods, just like there's no good or bad emotions. We need to start detaching from the identities and the stories and allow ourselves to just go, okay. And one of the phrases and things that I love to teach is, before you're about to eat, say, my body loves what it's about to eat and it releases what it doesn't with ease. My body loves what it's about to eat and it releases what it doesn't with ease, right? And this is also an opportunity when we look at movement in the body to understand that moving the body is about connecting in to our center, to connecting in to really being able to visualize and tie in who we want to be. And so when I get asked, what is it about movement and me? How do I stay so disciplined? It is discipline. And so we want to stop waiting until we feel like doing all these things. And we want to start knowing that it's the act of doing that's going to create the version of you who has the thing that you want, that it's the repetition. Yes, I love visualizing. Yes, I love auto suggestion. Yes, I love scripting. But it's actually pairing that with action. It's the daily application in the direction, in the version of you that you want to be, and then stacking the benefits. I talked about this yesterday. I'm going to touch on it lightly here. When we stack the benefits, when we sit there and go, look at all the reasons, look at all the evidence, look at all the ways in which this is supporting me and that I love this version of me. I love this version of me. I love how I feel. I love that this is time for me. I love that I get to connect in with my thoughts. I love how I feel energized. I love how I feel proud of myself. I love that I make better, healthier choices throughout the day. When you stack the evidence, what that's doing, as I said, it's that is crowding out the mind from the old belief system and the old identities, and it's bringing you into alignment. And the more that you crowd the mind out and you program the mind with what you want and stacking evidence for that which you desire, and sitting here going like, I love that I move each day. I love how proud I am. It's so easy. It feels so good for me. This is my time with me. My body loves this. I'm happier. I'm feeling healthier. I'm sleeping more soundly. Then the mind starts going, oh, we like this. This is our new program. This is who we are. And then the body follows. And then all of a sudden the body's waking you up each morning before the alarm. The body starts going, oh, and you start getting higher self-guidance going, you know what would be good? Get that multivitamin. You know what would be good? You should get a thing where you drink more water. You know what would be good? Call this friend who can help you with this. And all of a sudden you have propelled yourself forward in an upward spiral towards that which you desire, versus the negative downward spiral that can happen so easily. It's called the domino effect. When we make one negative choice where we just stay up later and we're watching a rerun and then of something, right? And we're like Netflix and it's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to watch this Sex and the City episode. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm going to go grab a little snack. And then you're up later and then it messes with your sleep. And then you don't get up in the morning to work out. And then you miss your workout. And then you eat something again. And then you end up eating more throughout the day. And then you beat yourself up for not having, right? It's the downward negative domino effect. So instead, what we're doing here is creating the upward spiral where one impacts the other. And it starts with the desire. So you get to decide. Right? When I said that I created the fit identity, when I said that I decided that I was going to move to New York and I was going to go for fashion, I just sat and I said, I ignored all limiting beliefs that said, you didn't go to school for that. How could that ever happen for you? You literally have no training. This is the number one market. No, it wasn't even in my consciousness. And so what happened was an avalanche in the best direction of synchronistic events that brought me to create that dream for myself. And I could never in a million years have ever thought it, written it, or whatever. What I allowed for was the desire. I didn't entertain any negative or resistant thoughts. And I just sat in the joy and the allowance of its becoming. And then I moved in the direction of those things that I was feeling called to do. And so they all intertwined. Me creating the fit identity gave me the confidence to show up more powerfully at my job, to make connections in a different way, and to take chances that put me in front of the people that said, oh, wait a minute, we want her to be in our meetings. We want her to come in our fashion accounts. We want her to create trend boards and trend forecasts and do this. And I was like, what? Meanwhile, it was all just guidance, but I had the confidence. They all weave together. The confidence came from the fit identity that was allowing me, as I stripped away layers and voices and identities that weren't serving me, that kept me at a lower vibration, being tied with always telling myself I wasn't enough because of my weight. And then I'd want to hide, and then I wouldn't want to show up powerfully. And then I would stifle my voice. And it was just one down, like stacking on top of another, keeping me from being my most powerful version. So instead I said, okay, I have this dream and this desire over here, and I no longer want anything to stand in the way. And I have full control over me and my body. I have full control over my life. I'm writing this story. So I'm going, well, one thing's for sure. I want to feel good in my body. And I know that that's something that's going to support me in feeling more confident overall. And that decision, this identity decision, propelled me forward to not only, it wasn't just about fit, guys. It wasn't just about health. It was about me choosing myself. It was about me saying, I deserve more, and I'm in control, and I'm deciding, and I'm going to allow the universe to support me because I know that I'm meant for more. And I know that God intended for me for more, and that all these lower vibrational thoughts are just what I have created here. So I'm going to go here, and I didn't even know. And when we make that one decision, it does not need to be the top of the mountain, guys. That's what we do so often. We tell ourselves, how can I get there? It's so big. I need to lose weight, and then I also need to make the money, and then I also need to transform this, and then I also need to figure out my purpose, and I don't know who I am, especially women in midlife and transition. There's so much projection from society and culture and family saying you should be here, you should have done this, you should have more money, you should say this, you should have this partner, you should have these many kids, you should be here. No, you're exactly where you're meant to be. You're absolutely perfect. You're hearing this at the exact right time. You're exactly where you're meant to be. But now it's you giving yourself permission to go for your dreams and go, I'm the star of my show. It's only everyone is reflecting me back to me. I'm done with this old story. I'm not a victim of my circumstance. I get to decide. I get to create. I get to be. I deserve more. I get to be worthy of my dreams. When I made that decision to just go, I'm deciding I'm changing. I'm going to release any weight. And what happened was it was a journey of self-discovery, self-love. It was a journey of me learning and connecting to my body and going, what actually feels good for my body? Oh, that's so interesting, which led me to healing myself of lifelong asthma. Like I went from walking around with 3 inhalers and albuterol and going into the hospital for treatments to nothing ever again, nothing. I mean, entire, like up until age like 22, 23, I don't know the exact age that happened, or maybe 24. I mean, it was one of those things. I was just always wheezing and like, no, nothing ever again. Took Daria. Then I was like, oh my God. So all of this, me just deciding that I was going to shift, that I was meant for more, just that one decision. I didn't get caught up in, oh my God, I need to lose this much weight. And then I need to look like this. And then what it's going to do is propel me to then go to become a fashion designer. No, that's too much. I just said, I'm making this decision today that I deserve more. What is one thing that you can do today? Can you make one decision today? Could you just put in the chat, I deserve more. I am worthy of more. I am ready for more. That one energetic shift will open you to be a receptive container to the universe to say, I am open and ready to receive. I wake up every day, I open my arms, I say, God, universe, angels, I am ready to receive all the gifts that you have for me. The money, the wealth, the health, all the things, whatever you want from me, the love, send it my way. I am here, I'm open, I'm ready to receive. I am ready to receive. I am ready. We need to let the universe know that you are ready now. Stop putting off what you think. Well, tomorrow I'll do this, and a month from now, and when I have the money, or when I have the time, or well, the holidays are here now, so it's going to be crazy. So I'm going to do that in the new year. Stop putting you off. When you put you off, you are giving a direct command to the universe that what I want can't come in yet. That I'm not, it's literally, I'm not saying that, universe, right? That's what's happening. And I see this so often. I always hear women say, yes, I deserve more. I am ready to receive. Yes, Tracy. Yes, yes, yes. Girl, this is what I'm saying, guys. Please pay attention to your words. I hear it all the time. Do you know how many women we will have them come into our community, and then they'll go, well, I'm going to wait. It's just, I've got my kid this or my that. I'm not saying to be reckless. What I am saying is pay attention to what you're putting out. Because when you say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start on Monday. I always hear that. Well, Monday, I'll start my diet over. Monday. Okay. So we're going to wait. Well, my birthday, well, New Year's, I'll do those ones. I'm just going to eat what I want and do my thing or I'm just going to spend everything. I'll get into money and figure that out, or my purpose. I don't know. The holidays are here. It's I'm not saying not to enjoy your life, but why are we restricting? Why are we not just saying I can have it all now? Why are we saying that we can't have so much fun and have our purpose and have money? I believe, and I'm here to take a stand for all women, that we get to have it all. Gone are the days of our wealth needs to come through a partner, or we need to we can have it all, just not at the same time. I don't believe in that. Why would you want to subscribe to that anyway? Why would we want to believe that? I don't. I don't. And why do we want to put off tomorrow what can happen today? Why wouldn't you want to be awakened to your best self? Why wouldn't you want that money to come now? Why wouldn't you want to believe that everything you spend comes right back, that you are in control and you can command your body, hey body, whatever, if we overeat yesterday, it's no bearing on our body. In fact, we actually woke up feeling lighter. We must have just needed to balance that out. And that over calorie consumption, it all worked in my favor. Start telling the stories that you want to be your reality, and pay attention, because as Gay Hendricks says in his book, The Big Leap, it says humans have a higher threshold for pain than we do for happiness, and that we actually expect the worst and are conditioned to challenge the good. Have you ever noticed, and I see this all the time with women, I'll never forget my teacher. When I lived in New York City, I did something called the School of Womanly Arts with Regina Thompson. And the School of Womanly Arts, she has a book with, she's got several. She's incredible though. And she taught us to say, when somebody compliments you, if they said, Melissa, you look pretty today, I'd be like, thank you, it's true. And to just hold it. Just imagine, just thank you, it's true. You're so nice. Thank you. It's true. You're this. Thank you. It's true. It throws people off. So when we went through this course, it was all about owning your power and showing that women often deflect. When they get a compliment, it's oh my God, you look so good. And, you look so pretty. And they go, you do too. You look beautiful. What are you doing with your hair? You look so good. And it's just own the compliment. You don't need to compliment in return. You get to just receive. And we were using the example of, I often talk about the I'm sorry girl. I was the queen of I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody would run into me and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I took their firstborn child. What? And I honestly would say it and feel this immense, I'm so sorry. And I see it all the time. I was at my niece playing soccer, and the girls, we were talking about when they were 8, and we were talking about how much they've changed now. She's 10, but they were 8, and we would see them on the soccer field, and they'd both stop at the soccer ball and stand in front of it and go, oh, I'm sorry, you go. And we were like, what is happening? You don't see that on the little boys field. So we have this innate thing within us where it's we come into the world as women with society and our family dynamics, especially I'm Italian Irish. It's the women, you just stay quiet, you look pretty, you hardly say anything. If you do, better not be anger. We're just going to sit back. And this like learned energy around women where it's like we're supposed to apologize for being, or like not take up space, or not have too much to say, right? And it's just gone are the days. Like no more, like no more. You get to have it all. You get to have it all at one time. You get to have it all and enjoy it all at one time. And we want to remove all of those stigmas, all of those limiting beliefs, everything that says that you can't. And we want to challenge them. My invitation to you, if you do nothing else, is just challenge every belief that you have and ask yourself, do I want this? Challenge every identity. That with the holidays being here, it is the most fabulous time to see what your identities are within your family. The family that you grew up with and the family that you created. Within your friends, just see it. Notice. Take stock. And then sit there and go, I have the power to reinvent myself right now. If I don't like the way that I'm dressing, if I don't like the way that my body feels, if I don't like what's reflecting in my bank account, if I don't like that I keep saying that I'm stuck, stop saying that you're stuck. Stop telling people the stories that you don't want to be your reality. Stop repeating to everybody that you're having a bad day. Do you want to continue having a bad day? Everything that you speak into existence is creating for you, and every seed that you plant today is creating your tomorrow. There's a great quote that I always say is, what you describe today is prescribing your future. When I say to you, tell me about your day, what are you saying? What you describe today is prescribing your future. Who you are today is who you chose to be a year ago. What you have today is reflective of what you claimed a year ago. What you say is a struggle for you today is what you bought into a year ago. So what do you want a year from now? All the containers that we do within Limitless Academy, within Limitless or Wholeness, my business, right? Limitless Academy is ongoing, but any of my mentorship, one-on-one, our group, my Reinvention program is a 6-month container, because it is 6 months for you to truly transform, right? To truly become awake and aware. But through awareness is where all change happens. We cannot change what we are unaware of. So first we want to become aware and awake. Next, we want to decide who we want to be. And we want to then gain the clarity and look at the current identity that we hold. And then we want to write a new one, which is what we did in our worksheets last night. Really, really, really understand that the power lies within you on what happens next in your life. Any and all things are possible. If you truly believe that you are of divine consciousness and a child of the Most High, or from the Creator, or of Source, and that you have the ability to connect in with Source energy, the universe, whatever you believe that is for you. For me, that's God, that's the universe, right? Source coming together, whether it's mother, whatever that is. But you have to know that if you have the ability to connect in, then why would we ever limit by what we see in our 3D reality or by past consciousness? So I want to ask you right now, take everything away. Just drop in with me really quick. Well, we don't have to be really quick. You're here with me now. Be here with me now. Be in this energy. You're here for a reason. You connected in for a reason. There's something that you're wanting. You're exactly where you're meant to be, and it's meant for you. So if your success is guaranteed, and I'm telling you right now that every desire in your heart is meant for you, and it's already happened, and your only job is to line up and believe so you can receive, and do the guided steps that will bring you to that alignment, that you just get to believe. That's what manifestation is. We get to believe. Then right now, I want to ask you, your success is guaranteed. Put in the chat. What does that mean? What do you have? What are you doing? What does your life look like? Just take a moment right now. What does your life look like? Your success is guaranteed. You could wake up in an hour. I'm going to put you to sleep. You're going to wake up in an hour and you will be in that life. Who are you? What does it feel like? What are you doing? Where do you live? How are you dressed? What's your bank account look like? All of it. That's what's available. How can we, and I'd love to hear from you guys, just take out, actually, let me just take a few minutes with that. Okay, I'm good on time. Who are you? And the last question that is the most powerful, I feel, is how is she different from who you are now? What does she believe? How does she think differently? How does she think differently? If you want to put in the comments just how she thinks differently, what came up for you? Because she does. She does. She feels different. There's a calm, there's a sense of peace, there's a sense of joy, there's a sense of excitement with life. She wakes up excited, right? She wakes up feeling really happy. And what's great with this exercise that you get to do too is even get more detailed. What time does she wake? What does her workout look like? What is she reading? What is she into? And if you're sitting there, you're going, well, she's me, like it's nothing's really different. Challenge that. If you have everything that you ever wanted, how is she not any different? And maybe she's you, but is there a different level of happiness? Does she spend differently? Does she relate to life differently? You know, when we're really in that space of any and all things are possible, life is quite a fun game, right? There's endless opportunities. Everything you see in life is an opportunity. Nothing is off limits. It's like, oh, you want to hop on my jet to Fiji? You want to go? You want to learn Italian? You want to decide you're going to take this class? You want to buy that company? You want to invest in this real estate? You know, you want to take your trip here, your entire family on this trip. You know, it all of a sudden it's like there isn't enough time to do all the things that you want to do. So what is the one thing that really stood out that's different about her than who you are? Okay. I wanted to go, and I'm so excited about this. So when we were looking at, and this is so good, when we were looking at self-love through food in your body, your relationship with your body reflects your relationship with yourself, which is why I start there when we're looking at transformation. So I want you to think about, and I would love for you to put in a chat, what are your current habits? What do you currently eat and drink that drains your energy? What do you currently eat and drink that drains your energy? And right now, guys, you know this, there are things that are coming to mind for you right now. And that's what I call soul speak. So in our programs, I often talk about soul speak, and soul speak is when there are specific things online that you see, specific lyrics in songs, specific billboards, or something that you're called to read, and that's your soul speaking directly to you. So after our calls in Limitless Academy, I always ask the women, what was your biggest aha? It's not just so they can share their ahas. It's that's what's directly speaking to their soul. And what's fascinating is after every call, every woman gets something different because that's what their soul needed. So what are you currently eating or drinking that drains your energy? I'd love to hear in the comments. And I can also tell you what that call is. And the second one is, how do you speak to yourself about your body? And you're also going to get this in our handout. Let me make sure. Okay. And let me put this in here. So I want you to, how do you speak to yourself about your body? And what do you currently eat or drink that drains your energy? Okay. Oh, that's so good. Soda. Yeah, that will drain your energy. Bread, pasta, pizza. Interesting. Yeah. You notice a bagel and cream cheese in the morning. Yes. Yeah, those. So one of the most beautiful things to have, especially for women over the age of 40, to release weight, maintain your weight, to just have endless energy to age backwards, to support in your bones and body function, is protein. And the ideal is an egg, but I always love an omelet, one egg, three egg whites, vegetables, side of avocado and berries for their antioxidant profiling, avocado, and you can put that on toast. My favorite toast, are either Hero, Carbonate, Dave's, Ezekiel. But you really, it's more about fueling the body with those beautiful, healthy fats for the brain. And also just your immunity and supporting your body. But that protein is what's necessary. So yesterday I was saying, for a woman that weighs 130 pounds, she wants 1 gram of protein for, every pound. So it's 130 grams. Many women usually end up having carbs or fruit and things of that nature at breakfast, and they forego, and then it leads to brain fog and not having enough energy. So protein is king. So my next question that I want to ask you guys, and this was beautiful. So how do you speak to yourself? Yeah. So Carrie's, so she was just saying that she speaks very unkindly to herself, and that she doesn't even look at herself in the mirror. So you brought up something yesterday I spoke into the power of mirror work. If you want to repair your relationship with yourself and with your body, mirror work is one of the most profound things that I did. And you have to do it until you literally start to see yourself differently. I have in our Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program and our Weight Loss for Life programs, any body program, any program that I do, I teach mirror work. I first learned it from Louise Hay. And I put my own spin on it, but ideally you want to go stand in front of the mirror. I honestly say it's so powerful to do it naked and to look deep within your own eyes and take in your body and just say, I love you. I see you. I am you. I'm proud to be you. And looking at the different body parts, look deep within your own eyes. And if you have a hard time taking in your body, especially, I have a lot of women that come to me after they've had children and they have a hard time around their stomach area and just aging in their breasts and different things. And it's really looking at and finding what you love most. That's extremely powerful. Now, the other thing that I wanted to tell you and I want to ask is, when you're looking at, and you're going to get this in the handouts, and that's what I'll put here for you now. For those of you that didn't get the handouts, this is like really so amazing to do, because what then you went through was defining self-love through food and what foods and practices would make you feel your best and align with the version of yourself that you're stepping into. That is an awesome exercise. And writing down what your nourishing choices are, and then what your new conversation with your body is, and a loving conversation. So thank you for carrying me through life. I honor you with nourishing foods and kindness. I will nourish my body with whole, vibrant foods that make me feel energized, giving thanks for whatever and all things that you do. And the reflection question was, how will loving my body transform my energy, my confidence, and my life, and help me to pursue my dreams? That alone, just getting clear on that, is incredible. So let me just put this here so you can, for those of you that didn't get to download the worksheets, I'm going to put them in the comments right here. So getting back to this, and this is, so when we're looking at your identity, right? And I really, really want to speak to this. So your current self versus your future self. I want you to really look at, how do you describe yourself today? So we did that earlier, right? You were writing down like, okay, how I would describe myself. I want you to think about and put in the chat what habits or traits are holding you back. This is such a good question. It's simple, but it's profound. And you're going to see in your life right now, what habits or traits are holding you back from really being your best, most incredible version of yourself? What habits or traits? So an example of this would be staying up late, not getting up early, right? It would be talking negatively to yourself, overeating, mindless eating, not moving your body, not having a morning or evening routine, maybe not putting yourself out on social media, not taking time, not allowing yourself to even pursue your dreams. If you're wanting love, maybe not putting yourself out. Like, what are the habits that are keeping you exactly where you are? What habits or traits are holding you back? This is going to be so beautiful for you to do and get clear on. I promise you. What habits or traits? What's coming up for you guys? What habits or traits are holding you back? Oh my God, so good. Netflix, scrolling on social media. I think there's like 10 comments about scrolling on social media here. Yeah, social media, that is, it's really good to put boundaries and even like the time limit, that setting on if you have an iPhone, snacking in front of the television. Oh, buying on Amazon. Yep. So I'm going to bring up one to you guys. Oh, Sarah just got it. Saying I have no time. Girl, you talk about awareness. You're aware then that you have a pattern of saying that you don't have time, and time is an illusion, right? Saying that I don't have money. Yep. Because we all invest in what we want, right? When we want something, we find a way to pay for it, right? We all do. Just like we can't make that commitment to do the thing when we're like, we didn't really want to do it, but you find something you really want to do and you're all in. Yeah. So I want to ask you, your future self, what habits and traits would define her? What habits and traits would define her? Who is she? How would she think about Netflix? How would she think about her workouts? Oh, this is Lisa. Not posting on social media. So fear of visibility. Yeah. Yeah. So that comes down to that belief. I love working with other entrepreneurs and coaches, because honestly, I had to overcome all this stuff myself. And the visibility, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, right? So we want to saturate. So if you had the identity, Lisa, right, of if you had social media where everything went viral all the time, it was just normal for you to go viral. That's just who you be. All your things go viral, your social media explodes every time that's just what's happened. Now you have hundreds, thousands on Instagram, you're all over the place, you've got 1 million on TikTok, like that's just you. Would you not post each day? You would show up like a baller, girl, right? You would be like, I need to show up. Like I have all these awesome followers. Like they deserve, like they subscribe to me. It's an honor It's a gift. Like, how amazing, how fun, right? You would not be seen. So what that says is you are operating from circumstance, and you're operating from your 3D reality, and you're operating from this current identity. So that is, do you see right there, guys, how powerful this work is? Because if Lisa starts identifying as the woman that's like a baller on social media, I don't know why I've said baller like 10 times today, right? But if she's like sitting there, right, then she's going to show up. So she's probably going to have like a whole social media team that supports her. She'll get an editor. She'll probably really put a lot more time and effort into what she's putting out, right? She would be very intentional. Her energy behind her posting would be different, right? It would be the energy of like, I'm excited. Oh my God, it's going to reach so many people who need it. This is going to be life-changing information, or entertain. I don't know what you do. Or maybe it's entertaining information. I'm going to show people how to dress for, success, or I'm going to like, oh, okay. She does energy work. So great. So you're a healer, right? So it's like, oh my God, I get to heal so many people. This is so exciting. Your entire energy when you put posts out would be very different, right? Because how are you posting now? Well, she's responding. I would assume it's not a lot of confidence, probably apprehensive, assuming the worst. What did I say earlier? Your assumptions. Neville Goddard says your assumptions tell you everything about who you believe you are, what you're expecting, what your identity is, right? So do we see the power? So if Lisa just shifted and reinvented herself as the viral social media queen who's propelled in the world of healing and is now helping the masses and is booked out, right? And like people can't wait to hear what she's going to put out next. And she's having so much fun being creative and doing this, right? If she started posting today from that energy, from that end state version of herself, who has the millions of followers and goes viral all the time and has this incredibly successful business, then she'd be like, yeah, I'm like, everybody needs to experience this. This is amazing. What I do is life-changing. Do you guys see the shift in that energy? It's completely different. So when we're looking at creating that new identity, we really want to look at, how am I talking to myself in this new identity? Who is she? How does that woman describe herself? And then I want to affirm it. I'm confident, I'm disciplined, I'm fully aligned with my purpose. I show up powerfully. I am worthy of all of this goodness that continues to come to me. I am wealthy. I make money while I sleep, right? I have the most incredible friends and relationships and opportunities and invitations that come to me. This is so amazing, right? So why answer this then in your reflection question? Why is reinventing yourself the key to your transformation? Why would that be the key to your transformation? Because you get to actually be you in your highest, most powerful version. You get to, this isn't about, I need to transform who I've been. This isn't about, oh my God, that version of me needs to die. No, this is about you coming home to who you've always been. This is the allowance of self. This is not you, I have to sit back. This is not you needing to eradicate and go into decades of all the healing and therapy. This is actually you just deciding that as of this moment in time, you're done being a victim. You're done living into circumstance. You're done operating as the version of you who you've been. You're done being okay with second best. You're done with ordinary. You are stepping into extraordinary. You are owning it. You decided that from this moment forward, that is who you be and that is what you want. Right? So when we do that, what happens? What are we saying to the universe? What are we saying? We're saying, I deserve more. I am ready for the best. I am ready to go higher. Bring me the opportunities, the places, the people, the experiences, the joy, the love, the wealth, the health, so that I can experience life to the fullest, because that is why I came here, to expand, to express, and to transcend, to ascend past my own limitations. For whatever reason, I came to this planet and this is what I created. Even if it's epic and amazing, The best is yet to come. We're just getting started. Who do you want to be now? If you're going to live to be 100, I need us all to get away from this idea that we're going to become decrepit when we're in our 70s and 80s and just go backwards and that's it. I understand that in the United States, we don't place much value on aging and the wisdom that comes with that. But I'm here to change the game and change the script that in aging, we actually get to be our best selves. And it's that wisdom that propels us forward at a rapid pace, where we don't even need to go into quantum leaping. We just get to be because we decided, because we know better, because everything up until now was just research. So whatever you're going through in life, midlife transition, divorce, getting married, having kids, getting over kids, empty nesting, starting a new business, abandoning ship, bankruptcy, going into this, it does not matter what was. Take the best, leave the rest. You now get to decide who you get to be. And that is what we get to do here. And it gets to be fun. It gets to be easy. In fact, it gets to be the best time in your life. It gets to be. Because you said so, because I said so, because you're here, or else you wouldn't even be here right now. So the invitation is reinvention, right? The opportunity to go, okay, there is an aspect of myself that I'm choosing to shift right now in this very moment. It does not mean that I'm bad. It doesn't mean anything. I just get to let it go. If you're sitting there and you're everybody's always oh, they're always late. You're no, I'm not. I'm always on time. In fact, I'm always early. If there is something in you that doesn't like something that you've been doing on repeat, it's just because you have a story with it and an attached identity. If you are somebody that tells yourself that you're an emotional eater, then you will be an emotional eater and it will continue to recreate for you until the end of time. If you tell yourself that you're bad with money, you will continue to be bad with money. If you tell yourself that you're a really hard worker, I don't know if that's something that you want, but okay, what about I decide that I want something and it happens for me really quickly. I manifest easily. Manifestation is just, I believe it, and so it happens. We all manifest all the time at every moment and every day. It's all based off of what we assume to be true, called law of assumption, right? Manifestation is nothing more than I believe it, and so it's true. So if you want something to happen for you, just believe it and impress upon the mind as often as possible and do everything that you can in your power to eradicate any belief that steps in the way. Now, here's another one that I want to tell you guys. Please stop buying into things like you're blocked. Everyone in my family struggles with this story. You're blocked. You're not blocked, and stop saying you're blocked, and stop listening to anybody that talks about blocks. You're not in resistance. I understand resistance. People talk about it, but why do we want to buy into it, or why do we want to feed it into anything that we're doing here? I want you to say it's smooth sailing in the direction of my dreams. It was effortless and it was easy, and I'm in the joy of it. And whatever does come my way that might seem right, might be perceived as a dip, it is nothing more than me getting to experience something different for me that's allowing me to decide what I want to have happen next. Contrast is just that. It's sunny out. We know sun because we know rain. We know heartbreak because we know love. We know what it's like to be healthy because we know what sickness is. That's contrast. That's the human experience. That's always going to be. We're always going to have highs. We're always going to have low. If not, then everybody would just be on lithium and we'd be running around and there would be no point to this life. So we want to allow for that because that's our expansion. That's our growth. Right? When we do get heartbroken, it's okay, you just grew me into a better version of myself so I can expand higher to call in a greater love than I've ever known. Oh, okay, wow, my money went down to that. Okay, that's so interesting that I allowed my energetic minimum to be that low. This is so uncomfortable. I'm never letting that happen again. Now that I know what that is, I'm going to go back up here, but I'm going to surpass where I was with my wealth. I'm going to go even higher because I know how quickly I can create that wealth, because wealth is energy. Love and wealth and money and God, it's all synonymous. And I call this into my being. I see it. I allow it to come to me. I am no longer in any resistance to all the good that can come to me. See, often the resistance happens just because we have stories that block that which we desire. And we have subconscious programs. What did we talk about yesterday? We talked about the unconscious programs, the subconscious. The subconscious mind is the godlike mind, right? And it's also the mind that stores, the subconscious mind, the unconscious is what stores. Our subconscious was created from birth up until the age of 10. So any beliefs that we have about ourselves, anything that we've derived to be true happens. And now we are all adult beings walking around with the belief systems from birth until age 10. And that is why we have triggers. That's why when you're talking to another adult and it's like, you're sitting there and you're like, it's almost like, it's like I'm talking to a child. Like, what just happened? You are talking to a child, because if that person has done no healing and evolution work on themselves, then they are responding as the triggered version of themselves. They're responding from their core wounding that happened from birth up until age 10, where all of your subconscious beliefs about you got formed. So we have the conscious mind, where consciously, many will say, consciously, I really want to release weight. Consciously, I'm ready for massive wealth. Consciously, I really feel like blah, blah, blah. But it's the subconscious contracts that we've created, the set of beliefs, the things that we set in stone as children after having experiences in life where we didn't feel safe, seen, heard, all the things where we said, hey, you know what? If that's what love is, I don't want it. If that's what marriage is, I don't want it. If that's what being thin is, no, thank you. That did not feel safe for me. If that's what, getting a lot of praise and straight A's, no, thank you. And so we set these unconscious contracts that we're unaware of. This is how I really got into being a master hypnotherapist, because I got very much into how do we reprogram the mind? What's in the subconscious? How can we do this as quickly as possible? And I learned specific ways to tie that in, which are things that I teach in my programs combined with breath work and other things to really support in reprogramming the mind. But I really want to tell you more than anything that you can also just do this quickly by deciding and reaffirming that decision and locking it in energetically through the inspired actions that you take each day to stay aligned with the identity that you're choosing to be. So if you continue to choose to be that new identity, inevitably it will be you. Inevitably, without fail. You will just start going, wow, I didn't need to script that out today. Wow, I didn't really need to meditate or visualize that. It just kind of came to me. Wow, that was so interesting. I noticed that I quickly just removed myself from that situation and responded completely differently because you've now assumed a new identity. So what happens with the unconscious contracts is that we can sit there and consciously be working really hard towards something, and we won't allow it in because we end up having a story. We hear this a lot when we have money stories. We hear this a lot with weight, where women will say that we really wanted to lose this weight. Well, something happened where it didn't feel safe, where they didn't like the attention that they got, or something happened, or they were criticized overly. And so the excess weight allows them protection, right? Remember, the mind is set up for survival. So it's going to do everything to protect you. We are animals by nature. So we create a lot of unconscious contracts earlier in life that we're unaware of that counter what our adult desires are. And that's why we can sit and struggle to achieve them. Okay. So what's really important is for us to know that and take time to get under the hood to say, hey, what's really there? What do I believe to be true? What do I want? Where did that stem from? And then learning to rewrite it. We do a lot of this in our programs around reparenting and speaking into. It is it's deeper work than like just being here on a live, and there is a certain container that you want to be in that allows you to feel safe to be able to do that. But it's something when you go into that state of awareness where you can do that and speak to yourself. And it starts with those inner conversations, and it starts with your identity, and you get to decide and then see what's going on within your body, within you, that's stopping you. Because when we have not progressed, right? When it is, what did I say? If you're not evolving, it's a revolving door. When it's a revolving door, it's simply just because you don't believe what you want is possible, or there's an aspect where it doesn't feel safe for you. And when we can get under the hood with those and shift it so that it is safe and you can reparent yourself, right? And that it's actually meant for you, and we remove the fear around it, that's when you just leap there, you just go. And we talk about being delulu and just kind of going in the direction, right? And I will tell you that after being in that space, it's a huge opportunity for you to go higher in that space. So please, if you guys didn't, those handouts will really, really support you, especially if you're really in this. So what I want to talk about is we want to look at your vision creation, designing the life that you were born for. So when we were all born, we came in with a dream, a desire, a vision. And I'd love to know what that was for you, right? What was that? And I'm seeing here, emotional eating, putting others first, fear. Tracy, I want to support you. I just want to know what that was in response to. I believe these are, I know what it was. Those are the habits that are getting in the way. So when we went on and did your future self, what are the things that would support you in your new habits that would be aligned with your future version? That's what's going to show you. And yes, fear will do that. But remember, emotional eating is an identity. We want to cut the identity. You're not an emotional eater, honey. You're not. Stop. You're now healthy and whole, and food is just food. Let's neutralize it. And you get to program yourself that you cope with life through going for walks, that you cope with life through expressing yourself, that you cope with life differently. All that's happened is you've programmed your mind that you cope with life through emotional eating because you learned that earlier in life. So when we teach ourselves, we reparent ourselves, like I was sharing that we do in my Reinvention program within Limitless Academy, in the Whole Woman, all of those. When you teach yourself how to identify differently and how to operate differently, your body will respond differently, right? Putting others first. Again, this is about you actually assuming the new identity of a woman who prioritizes herself because she loves herself. And fear is the opposite of love. So in order to remove, when we're in a fear-based state, we're in separation from divinity and from our intuition, right? That means we're operating from the head up, we're operating from the mind, we're operating from the ego. So instead we want to drop into the body and drop into divine consciousness and saturate ourselves with the energy of love, because love is the highest vibration. So going into creating your new vision, your vision, I hope that helps on, and doing the worksheets, Tracy, will be a game changer for you. And if you missed yesterday, that will be really helpful for you too. All of these, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's under lives, or here on Facebook or on Instagram and TikTok, I believe. Your vision is your roadmap. So I really want you to use that exercise of really going in and looking at your life. I want you to think about, so let's just close our eyes right now. And we're going to do a visualization. And I just want you to drop into this version, this vision. I'm sorry, drop into this version, this visualization. So right now, right here with me, I'm going to have you take an inhale deep in through your nose for the count of 5. And guys, close your eyes, and you really want to uncross all your extremities to allow to be an energetic container where there's no constriction or flow. When we have this crossed, our legs crossed, hats on our head, all the things. It's okay if you have shoes on. I understand, middle of the day, but just palms up, ready to receive, eyes closed for an inward experience. Staying connected to yourself. Take a deep inhale in through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Suspend your breath, allowing ourselves to access the subconscious and putting the conscious mind to rest. And 3, 2, and 1. Exhale out slowly through the mouth for 3, 2, and 1. Take another deep inhale in through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Suspend the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly exhale out of the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take another deep inhale in, and staying in that pattern as you listen to my voice. There is nowhere for you to be but right here with me, calm and relaxed. Just paying attention to the sound of my voice. Any other sounds or interruptions cast away. Staying connected here today to receive everything that you need to connect in to your intuition. And breathing deep, sitting where you are. I want you to imagine yourself on a beautiful beach, beautiful white sand, and the sun is coming down on your face. You feel warmth all over. You're completely at peace. There is nowhere for you to be. You're so happy. And you're just breathing in, feeling the sun, hearing the ocean, feeling the sand between your toes. And you open your eyes and a mirror appears. And it's a beautiful full-length gilded mirror. And you stand up and you feel called towards it. And as you step towards the mirror, you see yourself. This is you 6 months from today. And you're standing there, and as of today, you made a pivotal decision in your life that you are letting go of who you've been and any and all limiting beliefs and things that weren't serving you. And you're stripping away all old identities. And you've reinvented yourself, which is really just coming home to who you've always been. And as you stand in front of that mirror, this version of you is staring back at you. And 6 months, everything that you've ever desired to experience and achieve and feel and see has happened for you. You are the healthiest, happiest, wealthiest, most confident version of yourself that you've ever seen. You've felt this way at times in your life, but this is different. She's smiling and happy and calm. What does she look like? What is she wearing? What is she doing? Who is she being? And in this moment, she tells you to step through the mirror. She has something she wants to show you. And she takes her hand, and you see this hand reach out through the mirror. And you take her hand and you step in. And on the other side is your life, the life that you're living now. But you're seeing it through her eyes. As you stepped into that mirror, you became her. You 6 months from now. Connected to this vision, seeing through her eyes. Where are you? What do you see? Who's there with you? Feeling free to invite other people in, or invite in other scenes that are coming to you about your life. And since you are seeing through her eyes, you are thinking her thoughts. And in your mind, you get to ask her a question. How did she get here? What did she do next? What information does she have for you? How does it feel to be in her body? She proud? Take all of that in. Allow yourself to really feel her. She's you. And taking this moment to ask her any last guidance that she has for you. Any other questions, any other things that you want to know? She chose you. And taking that in, taking a deep inhale in and exhale out through the mouth. And when you're ready, just come back and take a moment to write down what you saw, what you received. If we don't, we usually lose it pretty quickly. And just writing that down. What guidance did you receive? I'd love if anybody wants to share in the chat. What did you get? What did you receive? Oh, so good. So you just connected in with a version of yourself, and you can do that at any time. One, you can come back to this and listen to this at any time. But that version of you, she has guidance for you. And if you were able to connect in, which we all can, that version of you exists. And you can do that at any time, and she will tell you. So there's no fear. She's in you. And she'll say, hey, pick up the phone, go here, sign up for that gym class, get up at this time, start going to bed here. And the more that you listen, the more you're going to see these transformations and this domino effect in the right direction of one thing after another. Just like I shared with you guys about my fit identity and how it went in and created more confidence and creativity. And then I spoke up at work, and then I started taking chances, and then I got seen in this way, and then I got my dream job. It never would have happened otherwise. And it was all connected, but I couldn't have understood it. It was just one little thing. We often make it these big, giant leaps. I must do this. No, we can take steps in that direction and allow for the unfolding, but it's you deciding, and it's in the energetic decision that will align you and guide you. And that's what I'm inviting you to today. So you have a detailed account in your handout of how your life will transform when you fully commit to this vision. That's your reflection question. And your handout is really the vision creation on day 2. It's very powerful. So like I said, that link is in here. And I wanted to tell you, I understand we've been together for 2 days, and I'm so honored. I really have been. And I do want to give you an opportunity. And so now I did want to share with you guys what we have for our Black Friday, which I know I told you guys about yesterday that I would be covering today, and the opportunity to fully go into our Reinvention program. We already have several spots are filled. This is an intimate container Reinvention. I'll put this here. This is a 6-month mentorship, and this is one-on-one and group, and we have an in-person experience. This is a high level, and this is for a high level experience. This is for the woman that's going, I am ready to fully up level and upgrade every area of my life and have it be dramatically different in 6 months' time. Not only just me, and this isn't about, oh my God, getting rid of all of you. This is truly about, I don't want to baby step things. I am ready. I'm ready to go all in. I've got dreams. Now is my time. I'm done holding back. I'm done playing small. I'm ready to be seen, and I'm ready to show up powerfully and in an excited way, and really, really feel empowered and confident in all that I do, and redesign who I want to be, how I want to feel, and what that gets to look like for me. And you have that opportunity. And that's what we do in the 6-month container. So I put the discovery call link in. I put it here, and I will also put this here. And I see, okay. Oh, did I miss? I'm like learning this whole thing. Sorry, guys. Let me go here. The multiple, since I changed the time on my team, they were like, last minute, can't make it. Oh my God. Okay. Because I have to go get my foot looked at. Here we go. All right. So what I wanted to tell you guys, so that is Reinvention. For anybody that's interested in Reinvention, please only book a call if you're serious. We have, I believe, 5 spots left. That is, like I said, it's starting January 1st, Reinvention. It's truly January 1st, ends in June. And that is our program that dramatically shifts everything. I mean, you will be unrecognizable in the best of ways. Like, people will be stopping you, just going like, what are you doing? Why? You sound different, you look different, you feel different. And how did you just have this massive up level? What just happened here? It's my favorite thing. I'm obsessed with it, and I love to do it. And we only offer this program 1 time a year. So the doors are open. And like I said, we start literally January 2nd. The next opportunity that I have for you guys is our Black Friday offer. And I'm so excited. So our Black Friday offer is, we put together, we have a program called The Whole Woman, Worthy, Wealthy, and Ready to Have It All. It is an 8-week course. That program in and of itself is normally $888. You get that today, combined with a month in Limitless Academy. And Limitless Academy, trust me, before the new year, we're blowing it up. So Limitless Academy is my online membership, life, mind, body mastery membership program. This is for the woman that is awake and wants to keep up leveling and stay in an environment and community where she's constantly learning, constantly growing. We have guest experts in there. I teach 3 times a month in there live. We have a Voxer real-time walkie-talkie, daily inspiration, coaching, motivation, all the things. We have our Facebook group, resources, book club, all the things. It's incredible. And you get that and The Whole Woman today for our Black Friday offer, our one-time price. And there's even a payment option for it, but it's for less than $300. You can get both of those. It's incredible. And last but not least, you can join only Limitless Academy for $98. For anybody that is new, that is your intro monthly rate. The academy, it is an academy because it's literally 5 years of content. We run bi-monthly challenges. I mean, it's epic. It's amazing. I'm obsessed with the women. They are all high level, super awake, super aware, and they will bring you higher. And I'm obsessed. So that is our other offer. And I know I love Black Friday. I love Black Friday. I love when we get to do things to help women to go to their next level. And I think that transformation in general, I think that it really gets to be so fun and so easy and exciting. And I do also know the power of community. Being in an experience where you can have a live experience and be in a container where you can be with people that are going through and you're holding each other to that. Yes, it's the guide and the teacher and the content. And that is something where I can say, I've said a few times, but I've been doing this for 18 years. I've run countless retreats internationally, in the US. They're so transformative. They're beautiful. And in our containers, the women just explode in the best of ways. And when you have that, and I have women coming to me telling me, I'm so grateful my life is so much better. My husband wants me to stay in your container. He says, I'm so happy on this. We repair marriages. We've healed bodies. It's endless. The transformations and things that have occurred. Obviously, you can read about all the testimonials online and all the things that happen. But if you're really looking to truly, truly step into your power, become the woman that you're known to be, and live an extraordinary life and be the best version of yourself. There is something that's so powerful when we give ourselves the permission and we align and we decide and then we go for it. The world opens up to support every facet of that, because it's truly why we came here. We came here to expand and to express and to be and have every desire. We are not meant to struggle. We are not meant to suffer. We are not meant to sacrifice. And when we can eradicate, Neville Goddard talks about it as pruning, and we're pulling out all the layers and the identities and the stories, and it doesn't have to take a long time. But when you give yourself the grace and the space and you say, I'm choosing to invest in myself, I know that I deserve this. I'm choosing and know that I'm meant for more, and I'm now owning it and I'm claiming it and I've decided, that's when everything changes. And that it's unbelievable. And just being able to witness that and be a part of it, we're all going higher together. I'm always reinventing and going to another level. And I'm just so honored for the women that have already joined, for the women that are in our community. And I would absolutely love to have you. So if you have any questions at all, please email support@melissakathryn.com. That offer for the Whole Woman and Limitless Academy is only good for 72 hours. So if you want that, that's there. For Reinvention, we do an application call. It's a very special, like I said, intimate container. We only open it one time a year. And we have a few spots left. And I would absolutely love to have you. It's going to be incredible. Like I said, it combines one-on-one with group. We also have our membership and the actual course itself. And then we have an in-person experience where we're doing a Reinvention retreat together. And that is, I don't even know. I'm so excited by all of it. But here's the thing. You have the replays. Please really, really do the worksheets and ask yourself, where do you want to be? We don't have to do years and years and years. You can close the gap. We can collapse the time. And that's by you deciding and you just going, I'm worth it and I deserve it. And I'm doing this for me. And I'm no longer putting my needs on the back burner. I'm no longer going to tell myself that I don't have the time or that this can't happen, or getting caught in stories of I don't know what I want, or I'm stuck and I can't do anything until I figure that out. That's another way that the ego keeps us stuck. So tell your mind, you program your mind, I know what I want and I know who I am and I'm going for it. And watch what happens and how the world opens up for you and supports you. That was really loud. I don't know what that is. So I see that time and time again when clients, will worry about investing, and then the minute that they do, the money comes back that same day. It's the fascinating experience of energy. So I'm so happy and grateful that you were here. I would love to see you in Limitless Academy or in our Reinvention program. I'd be honored. Like I said, the link is there. Book your discovery call to learn more. I also, you have the link. Oh, let me go here. And this is Reinvention for those of you that want to learn more about it. Let me put it here so you have it. There's a lot of links. Okay. There we go. I'm like, did that just go through? Yes. So you can also click on that and learn more about Reinvention. Email anything you need to support@melissakathryn.com. You can also just reach out to me directly, DM me any questions that you have, any questions, anything that come up. I would love to hear how this was for you, any ahas from these past 2 days, what you noticed. If you heard something, if you have any questions, anything at all, reach me directly or email my team at support@melissakathryn.com. We love to have you. I'm so honored, and we will be doing more of these because it's just been incredible, the response and everything. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to go get my foot x-rayed and looked at. Yep. So now I have to go. Oh, my love, guys. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you later. Bye.